whatever. Blogging is important. I included in the description for this video because it allows you to cut through the noise. So when I say blogging, I mean owning domain and hosting and running a WordPress.org blog. It's still the best platform by a mile for more reasons than I care to go into for this live broadcast. But there's noise everywhere. There's noise here on YouTube. That when you log into YouTube, I say log in when you fire it up on your phone, hop on the app, or if you're using the Lappy, especially when you're using the app on your phone, you're just besieged by a tsunami of videos. So everybody's trying to scream over one another, almost like a bunch of little kids in kindergarten, like, oh, pick me, pick me, pick me. That's why blogging is important. So while everybody's screaming over each other, attempting to scream over each other, and the noise on YouTube, and the 4 or 5 billion people who use Facebook, and all the folks who use X, and all the folks who use Blue Sky, and all the folks who hop on Reddit, and all the folks who hop on Quora, and all the folks who use all these different sites, and Google, trying to slug it out on Google. When you run your own, you own it, it's yours, you pay the domain and hosting, your self-hosted WordPress.org blog, you cut through all that noise instantaneously because you own it, you set the rules, you control the algorithm, you run the show, you monetize it however you want to monetize it, if I could speak quickly and correctly. You blog in your authentic voice, your one-of-a-kind voice. So everybody's screaming like wild animals, trying to outshout each other, and your quiet, calm, genuine voice cuts right through that. Think of this analogy. Let's say football arena, 100,000 people, was 112,000, I think, is the big house, University. Madhouse, the big house is a madhouse. You can't hear a damn thing. It's just, let's say the book is $20 a pop. It doesn't even matter. The idea is you get what I'm getting at. Those 50 people who love that author, listen, it's quiet, everybody's focused on, it's quiet, everybody's focused on you, versus the noise and madness of the world. So that's why blogging is important. And it's as relevant as it's ever been. And I've been doing it for 17 years. And that's because of the noise of artificial intelligence, these platforms. I use them. I'm using them right now. Haha. As I'm broadcasting live. But everything runs to and through. Of course, there's turbulence, there's madness. It's the general population. So this is what happens. Of course, there's turbulence, there's madness. It's the general population. So this is what happens in this world of the ego, right? It's just things get hectic, they get chaotic. But since I'm not the types of sources, so when 1 or 2 or 3 sources disappear, I could double or triple down on the remaining sources, or I don't even need to, because I already have 80,000 or 70,000 backlinks pointing to my blog. My blog. I run the show over there. And that's why it's so beneficial for you guys when you understand running the show is invaluable, meaning running your own WordPress.org blog. You'll see that you don't need a big following if the people want what you have to offer. If you control the narrative, you control the algorithm. You own the content. So it's a few human beings who really want the content show up, and then they build the referral traffic and referral business for you while you sleep, while you're traveling the world like my wife and I, while you're doing other work, while you're doing whatever. That's the power in running a WordPress.org self-hosted blog. But it takes a lot of work. So it's important to blog, but it takes you spending many hundreds to thousands of hours learning how to do it successfully, and then creating detailed targeted content for one reader, to give you that small, still voice that cuts through all the noise, makes a beeline for your loyal customers, loyal readers, and clients who then fan the flames under your referral traffic and referral business. So it's a lot of work. Like, I'm not saying it's not, but the work is an investment. So it's not a downside. It's just part of the game of being free from the noise. All these platforms can be very helpful as traffic channels, never as traffic sources. Now, in rare cases, you'll have people who slay it on these platforms, and that's fine. That's all well and good. I'm not against using them, but it's much wiser to own the site. It's much wiser to own the blog. It's much wiser to run the show, because then you can attract a loyal following. Setting up your blog exactly how you want to set it up, targeting one person, publishing content consistently, which slowly but surely migrates people from these platforms onto your blog. And you're like, oh, this guy's really helpful. This gal's really helpful. Let me follow their posts. Let me buy their stuff. Let me hire them. And it is a long process. But if you plan to be around a long time, you could either do what ties you to time and location, or what frees you from time and location, by thinking like an entrepreneur who builds assets. And in the case of a blogger, it's building content assets. That's it. So it's really quite brilliant when you see, after putting in the work, viewing it as an investment, how wise it is to blog. Now, a lot of individuals these days say, why would you blog in an era of artificial intelligence? And I would say, why would you not blog in an era of artificial intelligence? Why would you not blog? It's an easy way to stand out from the trillions of generic sounding articles that sound just like one another. So I speak to a lot of people, and they brought me this feedback, who check Google, and they let me know, they tell me. So this is human beings telling me that they look down from the AI feedback, the AI generated snippets, whatever you call it, top of Google. So as soon as they see that, they scroll down and go to the first or second or third blog post. So they check those three, or results, which tend to be blog posts more often than not for certain keywords. So when human beings are telling me that they ignore it, that's even more feedback from a lot of random folks and folks I know who I speak to, who's saying, like, I don't trust it. I don't trust the artificial intelligence. I don't trust it. I don't buy it. So I don't care if you make 60 trillion AI generated generic articles that sound just like one another. If you don't trust it, you'll look past it to the human blogger with a heart, with a mind, with a genuine experience, with empathy and love and compassion. And that's what more human beings are flocking to these days, as far as trusted resources. And I'm just sharing what I've got. Now, again, there'll be a lot of humans who trust AI who go that route, and that's fine too. But not everybody. And no, there's huge backlashes. If you're willing to look, you'll see those massive backlashes. They're rehashing content. It sounds just like other posts. A lot of it's inaccurate. There's so much misinformation from artificial intelligence. And I've scanned, I don't usually look at it, but sometimes just for the heck of it, I've scanned some of these updates at the top of Google for keywords, and I'm looking at the information, and I'm like, it's not accurate. I know this is stuff that I know inside out. You could fact check, you could cross check. So it's not dependable. Humans make mistakes, no doubt about that. But even though they make mistakes, they know how you feel and they've been in your shoes. So they can connect with you and create content more effectively in terms of solving your problems, because they could feel. AI can't feel. It can't be in your shoes. It can never know how you feel. It can't do things with empathy or compassion. And this is why it's so important to blog now more than ever. You distance yourself from all the chaos and noise and that madness by running a blog and blogging in your own voice and being empathetic, compassionate, careful, mindful, which will help you drive a lot of organic traffic and eventually, potentially, a steady amount of blogging income. So you have to start thinking right side up. in an upside down thinking world. So in an upside down thinking world made by the ego says, oh, why would you blog with AI? And that's an example of not thinking upside down. When you're thinking right side up, because everybody's doing it, that's not thinking, mindlessness. You think, why would you not blog right now? This is the greatest opportunity to stand out easily from the hundreds of thousands to millions of AI bloggers and just these big organizations that are just churning, recycling very similar sounding content that lacks empathy, compassion, feeling, storytelling, any human connection. And of course, there's a backlash. Some people buy it, more and more people are not. They're like, why would I read this crap? Guys, think about it. The billionaires who back AI, how did they build their businesses? They carved out a one-of-a-kind brand within a niche. They found a new niche. They are the leaders. They do what nobody else can do in their niche. AI moves in the exact opposite direction. It just copies everybody. So you have to start thinking. Don't give into the Jedi mind trick that you need this. You're literally breaking the number one business rule to differentiate yourself by sounding like everybody else. When I say you, I mean it's when you use AI. So a blog helps you sound completely independent, unlike anyone else when you're blogging in your authentic voice, which makes it so easy to stand out and make a serious impact, meaning you'll be able to drive a lot more organic traffic and blogging income. So that's it for today, guys. I know I could stay on and talk for a while about this, but it's a little before 3, and I want to go for my run a little bit here north of San Diego. So as far as my call to action, stop by bloggingparadise.com for smart blogging tips. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Much love. Until next time, you know what to do. Enjoy paradise all. Here's my thumb.